Hello guys, welcome to a Trading Parrot. As you can see, we are still on the daily within this structure that we've been following from early March. During this week, the most important event was this fake out that we experienced here. We have 2 touches, 3 touches here, and then the 4th one was a breakout. Unfortunately, it came back below and retested now as resistance. As a consequence, I'm gonna have to be moving our resistance to this area here. This means that we have less touches, but I need to consider the next breakout to be higher now than this line updated. When we have the rejection around here on the 8th of April, below resistance, what we saw after is a very similar move to what we are seeing now. So first we have the pivot and then a lower high. So that is equivalent to seeing this move in here. And what came after is 2 candles of 1 day that push the RSI below the support. So the question is, in the next couple of days, whether we're going to experience something similar. In that case, we should do a lower low on the RSI and enter the territory of 32 or even below 30s. If we did something like that, the price will fall towards 56.6. Our current resistance is located at RSI 49. So let's also add this one, and that is 65.2 currently. I remind you that the most significant level remains 67. That's where we got rejected. That is the point of control of the volume, as you can see here. And when we use the anchor VWAP from the top of the price, it's also the resistance. In my opinion, in order to get an early indication that we are going to see some higher highs and a potential continuation to the upside, the first thing I want to see is to break above 65.2. Obviously, if we do that, we will be challenging our new updated resistance at 49 RSI, and that will give us an early indication that we could finally exit this downwards pattern that has kept us inside for over 2 months. If we break above 67, many other patterns are going to start confirming that we're gonna go higher. Currently on the 4-hour, after losing momentum during early this week around here and then getting rejected at 66, the price had a strong rejection to the downside from roughly 67.2 to 62.8. And that is represented by this momentum action on the RSI. Also, it's important to note that this local support got broken, it got retested and once again rejected. And for the 4-hour to finally flip the momentum downwards, what we need to see it's some sort of movement like this breaking above the RSI, above this internal resistance. My preference is to see that the RSI continues going lower, breaks below the previous low of the RSI, causing some additional fears in the market and many more people to capitulate, at least locally, to potentially break out from this area here lower in the RSI. That will give a much safer entry back into the market. We already learned in this area in the past weeks that we can see also many more fake outs since the momentum of the market has flipped quite bearish. During the full run that we experienced in the past 6 months, we barely saw any fake outs to the upside. But what I'm seeing in the past month is that in the 4-hour and now including the daily is also causing lots of fake outs to the upside, meaning that the bears are in control and you need to be a lot more conservative when you're taking your long swings. When it comes to the alt market, as you can see, it also lost the momentum. It keeps printing lower lows. I do not have yet a pattern that I could confidently look at to say when is this pullback going to be over for the alts. At least from the point of view of the RSI, nothing is as clear as it was that there was going to be a pullback. I'm hoping that this continues developing some shape here that then I can become more confident and find where is going to be the breakout to take us back in track to at least experience a significant dead cat bounce if you want. Remember that the most boring markets are the best markets to find opportunities because most of the people are gone and it's much easier in those quiet times to find the strongest bounces up. As you can see here in Google Trends, we keep printing lower lows and lower highs in terms of engagement with crypto. And the best entries in the market are the times where you see the interest on Bitcoin being really low. So before those new trades are going to reveal themselves and I share them in my channel, make sure that you already have an account on OKX, claim your bonuses, deposit, and if you're struggling to get access to perpetuals or futures, you can use BingX, where you can also claim up to 6,000 in rewards. All the links are in the description. I was sharing today on my Twitter that even though there are like 6 billion in liquidation on the top of the price, if Bitcoin prints a new all-time high, I still believe that there is more to the downside. And one of the reasons people are getting confused is because most people are just looking at this chart here. And as you can see, this is showing you all the liquidations to the upside. From 64 to 74, that's a range of 10K in the price, showing you 10 billion in liquidations. But to the downside, there's barely from 56 to 64 and showing you 3 billion in only the last 30 days. This clearly explains why it's not taking in consideration all the liquidity that you can see from this other chart. Because this liquidity that is below the price at 50K or right above 40K is liquidity that was built in February. That's way longer than 30 days. In other words, the liquidity from this area of the price is 10 billion to the upside, and that's great. But do not get tricked. There's also over 10 billion to the downside if the price was to dump. And I'm not saying that necessarily we are going to dump. I'm just invalidating the argument that people think that the most liquidity is currently sitting on the upside. That's only true for the last 30 days. But if you go beyond 30 days, I'm absolutely sure that there's more liquidity to the downside. Most of the alts are getting slammer and they're currently being rejected by resistance. Like for example, R is rejected near. Some of them are losing new levels of support, like for example SHIB here that is losing support. In my opinion, the best setups is if we wait for the next move of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to find a new range, and then all these altcoins that have been showing massive strength are going to reveal the new setup, and we will at that time go through each one of them and filter out the best ones, ignore the mediocre ones. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. If you want me to keep track of any particular coin that is not included in this list, just make sure that you leave below a comment. And by the way, if we get more than 50 likes in this video, I will choose a random comment and I will airdrop one of these NFTs from the collection Trading Parrots. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.